Suzanna here today for the scrap room, and I'm sharing with you this layout that I created using Carta Winter Market from the January Flavors of the Month kit. I also have the add-on pattern paper and embellishments as well. So I am going to actually not use the cardstock that comes with the kit. The cardstock is a navy, and I can't design with that. It's too dark for me, and I like my white backgrounds, especially with a snowy layout. So I have actually the Carta linen cardstock, and I'm going to use that as my main background, but I'm going to frame that with this piece of pattern paper. I am going to off camera sort of messy stitch around the outside of that in white so that it's tone on tone and just add a little bit of a homey look to the layout. But I, again, will do that off camera. So that is my framed white linen there. I have fussy cut off camera two of these florals, these winter florals, and I'm going to use the B side of that same paper to frame my photo. So this photo is a look outside of my kitchen window. I don't have a lot of snow photos that are recent, A, because we haven't recently had snow, boo, and B, because my children are older and they don't feel that they need to play in the snow anymore. They'd rather just sit by the fire and drink their hot chocolate and read their books. So these are the types of photos that I will have available to me from now on. So my idea is to create a swag underneath the window there, and I'm going to supplement it with a couple of other things because there's not enough visual interest in it to me, and so I am going to figure out from the kit how to do that. I'm going to use that strip up the top, and again, it just adds a little, by having the lines going vertically, it creates a little bit of visual interest, and it plays off of the grid that's in the window. I do want another piece of pattern paper that will go underneath the swag and the window, and I'm not sure what I'm going to use. I really do like the trees that are there, but there's something about it that bothers me because the trees, you would be looking out the window at the trees, not the sink is what goes underneath the window. So I needed something that kind of made logical sense to me. I want to use this Stay Cozy as the title for the layout, but I could still use that blue as a frame. So by just cutting into it with my X-Acto blade and then fussy cutting it, which I'm going to skip, it allows me to have that sort of as an outlined word. And that's one of the great things about these Flavor of the Month kits is Rochelle always puts in elements that you are able to fussy cut. So while I may not be able to use all of the 3 by 3, 4 by 3, 4 by 4, and these 3 by 4 elements, there's always things that I can fussy cut and use as additional embellishments to my layouts. Always, always, always. I love that. So what I'm cutting out here is the peachy pinky phrase, and it says it's hot chocolate weather. I'm just going to banner that again for a little bit of visual interest. I like the way that that peachy pink pops the pink that are in the other pattern papers that I'm going to use. It really is the only element that is solely pinky peach, but it ties in together nicely with the layout. So I want to pop this title in the middle of that swag there. Again, it just adds a little bit of color and dimension by popping it up off of there. I am going to off camera, I do this after the fact, use one of my Nouveau glitter pens and just go over cozy. And you can't really see it. It's just a very subtle detail, and it only really is visible if you hold it in the right light, which I don't think any of my close-up pictures was able to give to you. So I have that and I'm pleased with that, but I know I want something to go underneath this swag. I'm testing out all kinds of papers and cards, and the reason I don't go with any of the other cards is because there's too much verbiage. I've already got it's hot chocolate weather, and I've already got my title, and I know I want a journal, and so I don't want any more words. So I am going to use the back side of these cards, these 4x4 cards, and use that patterned paper. I lied. That is not what I'm going to do. Oh, what I was doing there was cutting another strip of the same width of this horizontal stripe, vertical stripe, because I want to put that down the bottom. So I have a match from the top to the bottom that kind of mirrors the layout there. So you can see I went with more of this patterned paper. It's a white background so that it kind of blends into the background that I'm using, but has the same idea as that swag. I liked that much better than the trees. It blended the layout together better in my mind. So I'm fussing here with the direction. You can see how the directionality of those branches really matters. Are you going to have the swag hang up or hang down or create a diagonal element? It guides your eye through the layout, and I like it going up because that puts the emphasis on the photo and then the story down below. I wanted this to just be a little bit shorter so that I had equal symmetry coming off of the block on both sides, which is why I trimmed that down. And I'd already had my foam on there, my ThermoWeb foam tape. So I'm going to use that element, which comes in the ephemera, as my journal card. There really aren't ever any journaling spaces with EcoPark elements or Carta Bella elements. Everything has words and pictures on it. And so I will typically do exactly what I'm doing here. I'll trace it out and then just cut out a symmetrical border on all sides so that I give myself space to journal. Another thing that you could do obviously is type it out or write it on strips and then adhere that. But this way I am also able to incorporate more elements that come with the collection. And that way I am able to use the same tones that come with the collection, because I know I will not use anywhere near the number of, I'm going to call them decorative elements that come with some of these. I like the neutrals. I like the stars, the flowers, the hearts. And so that works better for me, especially when it's without words. So that is going to be my journal spot. But now I feel like I need to have some things somewhere on the outside of this central block here. You don't have to, you could just leave the layout there as it is, but I have all of these really fun embellishments, especially those chipboard pieces, and I want to use them. But I also want to add a little bit more texture to that swag there. So you can see I've cut out that sort of mint color. I think it's supposed to be snowflakes or falling snow. And so I'm going to use that more for the color to add some green to that very dark swag that is going across the top of my page. But first I'm going to fuss around with this matching strip down the bottom here. There's a lot of fussing going on there. And so once I take care of that, I will then go back to my adorning of the of the swag. Or I'm going to play with this pink stuff first. I liked it up the top because it softened that heavy black from the shadow as you go around the window. So I'm just going to show you part of this. Carta Bella dies, these particular dies, the year that I designed with EcoPark and Carta Bella, the dies were really, really hard. They never came out clean. And so this is what's going to happen here is I'm going to run them through probably like 6 times with a shim, without a shim, with a shim again. And I'm just going to skip through all of that. I'm going to cut some more greenery with this mint paper in order to be able to further embellish that. So I'll show you, these are the cut pieces. Some of them I'm going to cut down to be a little bit smaller. And I just like the way it adds texture. It's a little bit of movement to the page. These dies are from last year. They are not part of this particular collection. And honestly, I hate to say it, but yeah, I probably wouldn't recommend them there. If you have a digital die cut machine, I would go ahead and find something there. These are probably available as digital dies, as digital cuts. So also with your kit, you're going to get some enamel, and again, the colors of that are going to vary. I happen to get those blues, and so I'm going to put a sprinkling of those throughout the page, along with some sequins and some of the different size snowflakes that are available in the chipboard there. I don't don't like the way that the chipboard is cut, so I'm just going to use my scissors, my super sharp Fisker scissors, and trim that down a little better so that it's more symmetrical, like I did there. I also don't like the little attachy dots that where you can see the seam, the dots where it was attached to the cardstock. So I'm going to cut those off, trim those off. I'm very particular about things. Yes. And so I'm going to have a big star flake bottom left and top right, and those are opposing so that you kind of have that diagonal movement. And then you also have that sort of downward to upward swing in the direction of the swag there. I wanted a little bit of sparkle on the page, so the sequins that I'm going to use are sort of clear sparkly sequins. They are not in the kit. Those are from my stash. And then a chipboard for the mug next to the journaling just complements with the "It's Hot Chocolate Weather" from that phrase that is up the top there. So again, this is a ScrapRoom kit layout that I've created using the Flavors of the Month kit, the pattern paper add-on, as well as the card embellishment add-on. I design for the ScrapRoom once a month. I do videos for them, so be sure to check out. I always post them here on my own blog, but I always post them here also on the ScrapRoom blog. And if you ever have any questions about either the kits and or the things that I've done, please don't hesitate to leave them in the box down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I do work part-time, so that isn't always immediate, but I do my best. And if you're a new subscriber, welcome. We love having new subscribers. We love our old friends too. And be sure to check out all of the challenges over on the Facebook group. Enjoy the close-ups. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you are staying cozy, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.